dope. It's a dope groove.
Yeah. It's a big game. Who you know that got it behind the scenes like behind the O-line soon as the QB say hype. It's big game, big game. Analysis from the player's point of view. Injuries, big trades, player news. Yeah, sector competition, and he play with Tony Dungy. Better listen, I'm talking about Big Game Sports Buzz. Said everything you need and more. Yeah. Big Game Sports Buzz. I thought I told you once before. We call him Big Game James. Yeah, Big Game James. Big Game James.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode 26 of the podcast known as Big Game Sports Buzz. I am Jay Stoggs, the sports fanatic, aka Buff Nerd, and it's where fanatics like myself get an opportunity to talk to pro athletes about sports and everything around it. And of course, our pro athlete, the reason why we're here, why it's even what it is, Big Game James. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man? How's everything going, brother?
Pretty good, man. I just switched it all up. Was like, hey, let's try something different.
Yeah, you did. I don't really like that, but it's cool, bro. It's cool. You know, hey, on the fly, I got to be able to grab it and go. You know what I'm saying? I didn't catch the ball and run with it, but it's okay. I'll catch the ball next time and take off.
Did you have good receiver hands?
They were okay. They were okay.
Okay.
I might have been able to survive as a blocking tight end to catch one or two, like at a high school level. And that's the best I got for you right there, bro, man.
That's, you know what, man? I appreciate that. And I only appreciate it, I respect that because you're able to see that, man. That's some cats don't see that. But
yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I was better at batting the ball down than I was catching it.
There you go. Bat it down.
But I didn't have all thumbs either. You know, some D linemen got straight all thumbs, dog, and no gloves at all. But you know, like we said when Pierre Garçon was on the show, I used to show out in fat and go. You know what I'm saying? Wide receivers do pat and go. Big boys do fat and go.
Gotcha. Okay, all right, fat and go. Hey, speaking of fat and go, make sure that you like, smash that bell, and subscribe. Messing it up, man. Here we go. Make sure you subscribe, like, and smash the bell.
We doing that again this week, man?
Yeah, we are, man. We'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Tackle the bell. Tackle it.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is, man.
You know, hit that bell like you mean it. So you know when we do start and when we're up to speed, and look, there's a lot going on in BG Entertainment Land. And of course, we're brought to you by ASAP Network. Make sure that you're checking ASAP Network on all the platforms that they are affiliated with. Of course, you can always check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. We're there. So this week we're kind of switching it up as far as how we do things, but that's okay because we can do that.
Yes,
you know,
we
a little change is not bad.
And we'll see how it works, man. It's one of those things. If it works well, great. If it doesn't, hey man, it's Big Game's fault. It's all good. Hey, because you will blame me, and I won't be mad at you.
I'm not going to blame you.
I'm not gonna blame you.
Not right now. Let's go and let's get into this thing. The first segment. Keep it on the court.
Yes, sir.
This is where we see, you know, what's going on in the association, and of course, Durant is back, but the Nets still stink. They still can't win. And there's an added bonus because tonight, who are they playing? The Philadelphia 76ers. That's right. So it's going to be a good time to see how that trade is kind of worked out with has been. You know, is he in the fold now?
Yeah, but he's still on the sideline, not on the court yet, man.
Right.
So he wanted out. He wanted a new start. When is he gonna be back on the court to show everybody that he's back?
Yeah, when's he gonna actually start?
Yeah. So when are we gonna see him? Like I say, Jay, I don't try to downplay people's mental capacity. and what's going on. If they say they have some mental issues and some anxiety and some things like that, whatever's going on with him. But supposedly the change of scenery was going to help. Right. You know, from what his agent was saying, he just needed out. He wanted new plays. He wanted to, and he's in a spot now where he doesn't even have to be the man because you got two guys that can go out and handle it. Just sit back, be the defensive guy you are. Yeah. If you miss your free throws, it's okay. KD's probably gonna make up for him, right? So, just chill out and play basketball.
Yep. And it's well, except for last week when he put 14 points on the board. There's quite a few people who lost on their parlay and were quite upset.
Hey, speaking of parlay, don't do a Calvin Ridley, guys.
Don't do it.
We're gonna say that for 4 downs though.
So is it safe to say that the Nets they need time for this? Like, are they ready this year?
Hey man, with the East being the way it is, so like right now, Miami's the number 1 seed. Yeah. You have to take Chicago serious. I think are they the 3rd seed?
I think they're the second or
third.
Second,
maybe. I know they're up there. I think there's a tight enough race for them to be a serious contender. And honestly, how much better would they have been if Kyrie could have played those home games earlier in the year, right? Mm-hmm. They never had a chance to get the chemistry going with Harden, with him, with Durant. Right. So I think they're actually better than what their record shows. You know what I'm saying? And people may argue with me. It's cool, but I don't think you can count them out. And the city of New York, if they make it close to those finals, they gonna wait. I mean, they're already working on it now, trying to get it where he can play at home. He will be playing all games if it comes down to the Brooklyn Nets getting to the championship.
Well, I mean, and just a correction, the Bulls are actually sitting 4th behind the Sixers.
They took a couple. They skid a little bit.
Yeah, it did, but it's okay. I mean, I know they've had injuries and DeMar DeRozan and all that, but they're still 4th. Sixers are 3rd, and Bucks are 2nd, with the Heat at number 1 in the number 1 spot.
Got it.
But you got the Nets sitting at 8. And so now we're looking at them like, dude, if you can't get this together, you're sitting at 500 in the East, and you still got the Hornets and the Hawks.
But Jay, don't you think they benefit from a worse seed? Don't you think that could actually play into their favor? I mean, no. if they gel at the right time, depending on who they get matched up against. So ideally for them, they probably want to be in that 4-5 spot.
Yeah.
Is what I think would work best for them.
Yeah.
Do they come out ahead and,
I mean, at this point, at this point, they're sitting, I believe that's like in the playoffs, play-in spot. But, you start looking at matchups and, okay, who do you match up? Do you match up against the Bucks? Do you match up against the Sixers? Like that's who you looking at as far as your matchups when you start talking about 8, maybe 9. Hawks are sitting at 10.
We might get a play in the Hawk. This is not the Hawks season.
Yeah,
point blank. Where's New York at on that list, man? I know you do a better job of navigating around your computer than I do while we're on the show.
Hey, I'm the buff nerd.
The buff nerd.
Let's go.
Hey, I should have patented that name because you took it. You took it and ran with it.
It's mine now. It's mine now. So they're sitting at 12.
Okay,
they're 12 in the East. So, the Knicks, they're on a winning streak right now, but it always seems like they can't just get over the hump and figure it out.
Yeah, they do. They shoot themselves in the foot, man.
So hopefully, they get their locker room. I think it's more their locker room, but they're on a winning streak. They get their locker room together. Randall can kind of, figure out the whole fan and player interaction situation and go with that. If Barrett can be more of the dude, and they give the Cam that they get him more involved, I think.
Yeah, I sure, like I said, Cam Reddish is one of those guys. I think he has a lot of potential and talent, but he needed another year or two, maybe in school, to mature and grow and become a dominant player. Like, he's not going to just go take over a game right now, but he showed flashes that he could score and do things. And he had a couple bright spots in Atlanta before they decided to trade him away. It's just R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, the dude with the big old beard that was with Boston last year and then was with Orlando before. I want to say Vujic. I always tear his name up. Is it Vujic? Can shoot it.
Vujovic?
Yeah, but they're just missing pieces, man. It's like you think that as soon as you think that the Knicks are kind of back, they do something to shoot themselves in the foot. But Jay, man, I know we were talking about this thing with Kyrie Irving. So tonight, they link up and they play against the Beard and the Sixers tonight. Right. And Joel Embiid is in beast mode. I'm glad to see he's finally playing to that ceiling that everybody put out there, because I was one of those naysayers, and don't say hater, but I was one of those guys like, man, he stays hurt. They limited his minutes on this time management thing. What is he really going to show us? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to show us that he's that guy? But just real quick, and we're going to keep this thing moving. Yeah. He was asked about, the James Harden trade, and then because they're getting ready to play him tonight. And I just thought this quote was interesting. I just want to get your take on it. He said, James probably couldn't see what we were getting into. Obviously, my status being in and out, I saw a few things that maybe could have impacted things. He said, I think we're also forgetting I've been in a situation too where I've asked for a trade, Irving said. I understand it. I'm not here to judge him. I'm not here to talk bad on James. He has a great family. He's a great person. I don't want to separate that fact from anything. I just really want him to be happy. I want everybody in the league to be happy. But as he was saying it, I don't know if you saw the video, kind of the faces he was making and head looking sideways. A lot of people said they took it as shade. Now, it could be the people out there trolling, just trying to start stuff between the two. But nevertheless, man, something was there. Shots fired, you think? Or do you think he's sincere in saying this about James Harden?
I think he believes he's sincere about saying it. And so, in his mind, because that's the thing about that we've kind of learned through this side of Kyrie Irving is he says what he wants, and he's just, you can take it how you want to, right or wrong. And he doesn't care. So what we may believe and see it as shade, and the round, the earth is round, but he thinks it's flat. There's that part. Yeah. So I don't know, man. He walks to the beat of a different drum, man. I just know from what I can tell, Harden seems to be in a better situation mentally, which is, helping his game. Right. The thing about Joel Embiid and Harden to me is durability. They both have that, especially Embiid, and that's been his Achilles heel, if you will, that he just can't stay durable. But if he can, then there you go. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. It's amazing right now to see how he's been playing. He hadn't been hurt. He's been on the court. Right. He's been available for his team. And those are all the things you want, man. I mean, it's just like I said, I take my hat off to him because one, man, that schedule, those back-to-back, those road games, however they do it in the NBA, it's kind of crazy. And, to have a bad back's nothing to play around with. No, back is serious business. And when you get banged up and hurt, you got to deal with it the best you can. But hey,
I was gonna say though, but when you look down the bench, it's not a lot there, and it's not a lot that you can look at to say, you know what, I feel good. We can maintain here.
So how far does Philly get?
I think second round. I think second round. Depending on, I think it really depends on Heat's durability.
Okay.
And I also think the Celtics have figured something out right now, so they're really balling. And then of course you have the Bucks, and so that puts them right there. But we'll we'll have to see, man. I don't know if that's gonna really affect them, man. I just don't see them going into the conference finals. Definitely not the series.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. I got you. Hey, it's gonna be tough. Now, hey Jay, I don't know if you saw this one.
Yeah.
My son brought me his phone and pulled out his TikTok, man.
Hey, there you go.
And he had to show me this. But last night, LeBron James, I guess, set out the game before. He came back. He played against the Houston Rockets. Into the game, LeBron drives to the lane, has a clear path to the basket, kicks the ball out to Carmelo Anthony. And what does Carmelo Anthony do? Miss. Had a chance to win the game. Does that just speak on the Lakers season right now?
Yeah, I think it does, but I also think it speaks to LeBron, and that LeBron usually makes the best basketball play.
True.
He usually does. And so we can say, yeah, he had a clear path. Then when I saw this, it was like, look, LeBron usually makes the best basketball play. That's why he gets dogged so much.
Right.
Because they're like, you just take the shot, even if there's 2 people on you, even if there's 3 people on you,
right.
Even if it's not a good shot, just take the shot. And it's like, no, there's a guy open. I'm going to pass it to them. Now, he gets upset with them when they miss. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But, I mean, that is what it is. So, it is indicative of this season for the losers. They have a lot to do.
So disrespectful.
Look, man, win games, and then you won't be the LA losers.
So nothing they've done in the past registered and holds true to you. You going strictly off
this
of
season
right now.
Look,
can I ask you something, Jay?
Go ahead, man.
If we were talking about football,
see, I knew we was going to come to this.
I just want to ask a question.
Yeah.
I just want to ask. Just give me your honest answer.
Yeah.
If we were talking about football.
Yeah,
we were talking about your Dallas Cowboys.
We were talking about my Dallas Cowboys.
You would still speak on the wins from the past, right?
Yes
or no?
It just depends on who I'm talking to. It depends on the question.
Okay.
No, because this is what I get. I get, those Philly fans who talk about 26 years. It's like, bro, five championships. You got one.
Right.
Revel in that. Be thankful for that. You ain't got to talk about what we did.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Just come on, man. It gets ridiculous because, like I said, the LA Lakers, great franchise, but today, are you rooting for them? Are you really rooting for them today?
Well, it's not my team, but I believe Laker fans are going to stay true to their team, just like Cowboys fans do, Eagles fans do, Bull fan. Well, I don't know. Everybody jumped off the wagon after MJ retired, but
I can't find a Bulls fan, man.
Boy,
except for this year.
Yeah, they doing their thing this year, though, man. And your boy DeRozan is it DeRozan?
DeMar DeRozan, yeah.
Yeah, whoever came from that used to play up in Canada, man. My mind is bad. You know what I'm saying? Too many hits to the head.
We talking about Kawhi?
No. Kawhi is in LA, broke up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know this.
Yeah.
But hey man, that's cool. We're gonna keep this thing moving because we do have our special guest chilling out in the green room, and we're gonna bring him in after this next segment. But before we get on to the Mad Backer, man, we're gonna get this oh hell nah going on. Because we just love letting y'all know that it's just some dumb people out there in the world, and they make you say,
"Oh hell no! Oh 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 hell no!
Oh hell no!"
Yo, I got to put this up real quick. Yo, Jerry, what up, man? NBA's broken super teams and LeBum teaching everyone to whine. Look, that's been in the league for a minute.
Wow.
So
LeBum, dang.
Yeah.
Boy, y'all there's some hating going on.
With the fire and the heat.
All right. Hey, that's cool. But hey, real quick, Jay, this week, oh hell no, man. It was a lot of things going on, and I think the list was big. But for me, I'm gonna pull this picture up. Yesterday, I was just chilling at the house watching the ACC tournament. You know what I'm saying? We get ready for March Madness, so I'm starting to try to watch all these conference tournaments so I can get ready for my bracket, right?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the Syracuse Orange are playing against the Florida State Seminoles, and they're taking it to the Seminoles. You know what I'm saying? I thought Florida State would play a lot better. They played better all year. They're like the only team in the country that's got 3 7-footers, and the guys are like straight wings. They're not even post-up players, right? But lo and behold, their all-conference player, I think it's Buddy Boeheim. It's 2 Boeheim brothers on that team, and I think it's young Buddy Boeheim got in a little tangle, got caught up with his arm, and got mad at somebody on Florida State and socked him in the gut. And later on, I mean, they stopped the play. They looked at the monitor. So you're thinking they're reviewing the play, right?
Right.
Nope. He goes on. He plays. After the game, Dad, Jim Boeheim, was asked about it. He said, they got tangled up. Arms got caught. He just pushed and separated. The reporter said, no, Jim. He clearly pulled his arm back and punched him in the stomach. And he said, well, you saw what you saw, and I saw what I saw.
There you go.
Later on that night, the ACC suspended him for the game today. Good. And I don't know what the outcome ended up being against Duke today. I had to run some errands, couldn't finish the game. But lo and behold, hey, we know as parents, we love our kids. Yeah. We take up for our kids.
Sure.
You can't lie when there's video out there supporting the fact your son sucker punched somebody in the stomach. So Buddy Boeheim and Jim Boeheim, y'all both get my oh hell nah for the day.
You saw what you saw. He saw what he wanted to see.
Yes,
man, that's a good one too. Yeah, I saw that, and they were calling him out like, Jim, come on, Jimmy, let's be better. Let's be better. For mine, this story came out last week. Apparently, the New York Times can't decide or can't decipher between Venus and Serena Williams. So apparently, Serena Williams, she has a capital venture that she's working on, right? And they've raised $111 million. But right, for those that are starting, businesses and things like that. So, and that are marginalized. Well, hey, lo and behold, instead of putting Serena's picture next to it, who do they put? Venus, because they clearly look alike.
And Jay, I don't know if you see it up here in the slide. I red circled it. It looks like Venus all day long.
Venus,
looks nothing like Serena.
Listen, man.
So, but hey, and I shouldn't take it here, but I'm gonna take it here.
Here we go. Do it.
Hey, all black people look alike, right?
No.
Clearly we don't, but they think we do. It's all good though, dog. Hey,
New York Times, you get my oh hell now. Don't mess with my prototype, okay? Serena's my prototype. Don't do it.
Oh man,
I'm coming for you, New York Times. No one
so
likes you.
That's the oh hell nah.
There it is.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Hey Jay, before we bring in Adrian, go ahead and read that promo, man.
Hey, you know what it is, man. Like the show, buy us a coffee, help us grow. www.buymeacoffee.com/BigGameJames. Listen, we have stuff that is coming up definitely for the merch. Website is about to drop down, and we're going to have a lot of other shows. But in order for us to continue this great work that we do, the Lord's work, well, maybe not the Lord's work, but the work that we do, we definitely need your assistance. But, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit, smash that bell. Because we have exciting things coming up. Definitely. Without further ado, Big Game, who do we got coming on, man?
Hey, man. So, we still trying to grow the show, and I want to involve and incorporate people, man, that I've crossed paths with or, a few times in life, and just people that, I see out there on the internet doing good things. And this brother here, man, it's so funny. I remember my senior year in college, we had to go to Fort Collins, Colorado, and play against Colorado State Rams. And I know every offensive lineman on our team was scared. I was like, hold on, man. How y'all scared to go play a college football game? They say, dude, you seen this brother with the visor on playing defensive end? He killing us. He said, dog, he been killing everybody he played against. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we got up there. I play on the defensive side of the ball, so I got a chance to really sit back and watch. And after the game, I looked at my boy P. Free, and I said, yeah, dog, I see why y'all was tripping before we came up here to play. But, hey, from California, like myself, played at Colorado State University. Yeah. Was 1998, picked up by the Cincinnati Bengals, had a long career, man, in the NFL. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm introducing Adrian Madbacker Ross to Big Game Sports Buzz.
Yeah.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? I appreciate the great introduction. You know what I mean? Back in the Western Athletic Conference days.
Yeah, back in the WAC days before we even got there. Nevada was still in the Big West, and we had to go play. That was, as a matter of fact, people laugh, but that was a money game for us. We went to Fort Collins to get paid, and we got paid and got an ass whooping at the same time. Oh man. Hey, Adrian, before we kick this thing off, man, and get into some of these nuts and bolts about football, man, you had a long career, and I know what's funny is when I was talking to a couple different people, and I was like, yeah, man, I got Adrian Ross coming on, and they was like, I know that name. I said, why does everybody remember you from the hair, dog, the tiger stripe hair? I just want to know how long it took to get that dye job done when you got your hairdo like that, man.
Ooh, man! Shout out to Mona. You know, she hooked me up back in the day because that just like how you're saying, it didn't take that long, but it took a long time to find out who was going to do it.
Oh, okay.
You know, because we're just used to going to the barbershop, and then having to go into the beauty shop.
Got you there.
And walk in there, and everybody they all looking at me like, okay, who is this and what is he doing in here? And man, and then I shout out to the women, man, for what they go through to look good for everybody else. Because it took a while to get the bleach, and then to color it. And all that, and then all the stuff after the fact. I think that's why I don't have any hair now. Because
I was gonna say this is like 90s, so it wasn't like it is today. You just.
Hey, and I had a picture, but I couldn't get it blown up enough. And I might see if I can still pull it in here to show everybody. But if y'all haven't checked that out, just put Adrian's name in on Google, and it's one of the pictures. It's one of the ones that come up, and you look and laugh. But I know, and I don't know if you're
Twitter, man.
I will do that. Yeah, I'll post it on Twitter.
I try to help him out as much as I can.
I'm still learning how the social media thing works, dog. I'm an old head. I don't know if you remember this, Adrian. It was a Super Bowl time back when the Giants and the Ravens played in Tampa, and you came down to Tampa, and we did an event, dude. And first thing I said was, because like when I saw him in college, the hair wasn't like that. But when he ran out and we did introductions, okay, first and foremost, tell everybody. It was Southwest Airlines doing an event. He laughing. Yo, they had us pulling an airplane.
Ooh.
Hey, do you remember that?
I remember that because I didn't think it was really what it said it was. And they said tug of war or something. And then it was a tug of war to pull a plane.
Yes.
I was like, wait a second. Like, did I bring the right shoes out here? Man, you brought that one back.
Yeah,
boy.
you took it all the way back. So Jay, to kind of give you a glimpse of what it looked like, you had brothers out there with, we had shorts on. They told us what to wear. Had shorts, had some tennis shoes, but we still chilling, talk about what we're gonna do later on, what the festivities were. Chains on, watches on, and all of a sudden, we on a tarmac and. You walk out. It's a regular old Southwest plane there.
Yeah.
With a fireman hose rope hooked up to it. They're like, the further y'all pull it, the more money you raise for this charity. So not only do we have to pull a plane, we under pressure to pull it as far as we can because we're trying to raise the most money that we can for this charity and this organization.
That's how they got y'all. I'm just glad nobody was out there, with the Deacon Sevens, Deacon Wilson Sevens, and their church shoes, man, with their church socks like.
Wilson 7. So, that being said, that's one of the first times that we got together and did some things. But I know. Hey, Ross, before we jump into it, man, what's some things that you're doing nowadays?
Oh man, now I they jacked me up on the NIL. I was an agent, and then I got tired of the NFLPA. Okay, I got tired of it. Was tough having been the player, then to go on the agent side and sit in these agent meetings that they make you sit in.
Right,
and I'm like, why are y'all telling the agent this? This is the stuff you're supposed to tell us. Like that's like every person out there. That's like you guys working at your job, and then your employer is telling your parents or someone else other than you all the stuff that you need to know. They're like, hey, make sure your players know this. And back back in our day when we came in, I always say it's funny for our group because we had the technology, but the league hadn't switched over to the technology.
Right.
So we were using DVDs. Remember, Blockbuster had DVDs, but they still were on that. If you have DVD or if you have tapes, and the league still was using VHS.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel that. So anyway, like that's what I was doing, and I was trying to let these parents and these young players know what they can do to market themselves and what to make money and how to make money, because we grew up hearing that it's a business.
Right.
And no one told us that we are the business.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to move that needle on now with the youngsters and the parents, and then more so on the female side of sports.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a lot more that they can do. And I love that the women have always been way out in front in terms of graduating, but in terms of going pro, there's not a lot of avenues for all the sports. Yeah. But there's a lot more revenue streams for them now with social media. Right. And so that's what I'm out there doing, is trying to sign them and move them along in terms of making money as the business that they are.
I mean, that's smart. That's a great job, too, because we need people out there doing that, because we know that the NCAA and even getting into the league capitalized off the sweat and blood that came off our back. So it's time for these young people to be educated about it. And the female side is big and real smart, man, and it's great that you're doing that. So, you know, how we normally do this, man, we reverse the order a little bit because we wanted you to come in and talk some football with us. So we about to get into a segment that we call 4 Downs, and we just go through 4 different things that's hitting the league right now and how it's going. And we just kind of, you know, always love to get a former player's take on what's going on. So first and foremost, Jay, you want to talk about I'm going to let you introduce that first one because it pertains to your boys.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. Look, you know, there's a lot of Cowboy haters here, but over the years, it's just been real apparent that Dallas just can't get out of their own way. So, you know, they're considering cutting Amari Cooper and Tank Lawrence for cap room, even though, you know, you got Dak who's restructuring his contract. You've actually franchise tagged Schultz. I don't get that. You know,
I didn't get that one either.
$10 million for that tight end.
Tight end, yeah.
You know, and now you're talking, hey, let's give Michael Gallup, who suffered 2 injuries in the same season, coming off an MCL surgery, let's give him $10 million, because that makes sense. Because yes, that's the best thing to do. And then when you have Rodgers, and we'll talk about that in the later downs, but I don't get this talk at all. I don't get it at all. Amari Cooper is a wide receiver 1, clearly, and you want to sign Wilson and Gallup and and cut him just for cap savings. Like, bro, Steven, you're doing a poor job on the money side, bro. Like, need some help here. Need some help. What are we doing?
You want me to speak on that?
Yeah. What do you think, my man?
I'm about to ask you your take, because he knows what's going to come out of my mouth. But, yeah, I definitely want to get your take, Adrian, on what you think about that, man.
I mean, I think that's just what the NFL is. You know, like, I think you're always going to get those casualties that you want to keep, but the player that he is, like you're saying, of value, you're going to have to pick somebody, you know, and – you know, you got that boy Michael Gallup, Colorado State legend. You know what I mean? You know, now he did get injured and whatnot, but, you know, he's going to come back. And, I mean, they're deep at wideout, right? So
they are.
That's one of the guys, and that's the spot that I choose to let some of the money go. You know, now, as much as you like to keep them, but but Wilson, I mean, you have a lot of wide receivers. Like you said, it doesn't make sense to franchise the tight end, though. Right. Tight ends are like linebackers and everybody. There's a dime a dozen of them that's going to come out every year. I mean, they're not going to hit like me or nothing like that necessarily. We talk about the Packers, but
right.
You know what I mean? And so Cooper, and then in terms of himself missing, you know, like he's always missing a few games here or there for whatever reason. But I think that would be the guy to let go now. I remember hearing something about Demarcus Lawrence. Like, are they be letting him go?
Yeah, well, what happened was when they started talking about what they needed to do to free up some of this money in salary cap space, that they may ask Demarcus Lawrence to restructure.
Okay.
And he just straight out came out and said, I'm not taking less money to stay in Dallas.
That's not what he said.
Okay,
what he said.
Yeah, well, what did he say?
Oh, hell no. That's what he said.
The whole thing is, and the point was that everybody started jumping on was the last time they had this situation was DeMarcus Ware. And they asked him to take a pay cut. He said he wasn't doing it. Next thing you know, he's off in Denver winning the Super Bowl with the Broncos.
There you go.
This is my whole thing. I like Gallup. I think Gallup's a great wide receiver. I mean, going to be a great wide receiver. He's a great young wide receiver.
Is he a 2?
Listen, some fans are hating on him because the Cowboys are wanting to move away from Amari Cooper and make him the guy. He didn't ask for that. He was very productive as a number 2 wide receiver before his injuries this season.
He was a 3.
Well, he was a 2 until CeeDee Lamb got here. 3. Okay, point being is don't hate Gallup because the front office decided to make a move.
I'm not hating
that's going to
Gallup.
free them up money. My whole thing is, did they ever go to Amari Cooper and talk about restructuring the contract to bring him in different? Because now you're saying, hey, you were good for us, but you weren't that good, and we can do it without you, which I think the Dallas Cowboys, they are deep. But who was it? Wilson, number 1, he showed that in big moments, he had big drops and didn't come through. Gallup was hurt and banged up. CeeDee Lamb is great, but he's going to be more productive in the slot because of his speed, and then you still need that number 1 to keep DBs and stuff honest on him, right?
Yeah.
So, but the only good thing is for the Dallas Cowboys, this is a deep wide receiver draft. So to me, obviously, I think they plan on going young in the draft, going somewhere in the draft to pick somebody to replace Amari Cooper. But I just feel like, did you even now? I'm saying they should have restructured. They may have reached out to Amari Cooper and said, hey man, we want to bring you back, but we got to redo your deal. And he may be like, nope, you're not redoing my deal. And then it's like, oh, rumors come in, we're gonna cut you. And if that's the case, that's the case.
Yeah. And I mean, there's no reports that are saying that hasn't come out. It's just pretty much like, look, we just gonna cut him. We tried to shop him. His contract is just too big. It's just too big.
What are they doing with the O-line? I mean, talking about getting long in the tooth over there.
So right now the latest is that La'el Collins is being shopped, and there's some teams that are interested in him. So he's gone more than likely, and should be, because at this point they got to do something else. You got the 24th pick in the first round, I think 56th in the second. So, I mean, if you try to jump up to get a good lineman in this draft, you're going to have to give up some things. And the rest of that O line, they just go ahead and they can go play for USFL.
Oh damn!
Or, they can go
sending them down to the Houston Gamblers. What is it?
I mean, they can go play in Russia, or just do something else. Just eating contests. I just think there's just other things that they can do with them. I wish them all the best, just not here on our O line because they don't block. But and I said this in the Chop Shop, man, the fact that Joe Burrow, a second-year quarterback, can be sacked 70 times this season and go to a Super Bowl, and Dak only be sacked 29 and not even make it out of the first round says a lot about the scheme.
Right.
There's problems there.
I can't argue with you on that, bro.
You can put great linemen in front of them. You can have the world's best receiving core, which they did. You have great running backs, which they did. You have a decent quarterback. To me, Dak is not top 5, more like 15, top 15. But
I can respect you saying that, Jay.
I mean, look, he can't throw
anybody all the way
open.
100 on that.
Hey, look.
You got to give him top 10. He's top 10.
He can't throw a receiver open.
I think going into the season, I would have said that, but after some of the throws this year, Adrian, I can see him maybe falling out that 10 to maybe 12, but he's still up there as far as like what he can. Ability-wise, I think he has it. Yeah. Something about the injury messed Dak up. He came back early. It's still.
I can respect that.
He didn't look like himself. I think this season, though, is going to show what he's capable of. And I think he'll look like the Dak Prescott from 2 years ago. Because before he got hurt against the Giants, he was burning it up, and that's why he went to go get the bag. I've been saying that all week. Go get the bag. I be hearing my son listen to music tell me go get the bag. Aaron Rodgers just stole the bag, but that's why.
Young.
Hey man, I'm gonna act young tonight. Damn it! So he went got the money, and I'm not mad at it. But this is the thing that gets me. And Adrian, you played on the defensive side of the ball. I did a talk show earlier this year, and they asked me about the Dallas Cowboys, and I said one of their biggest weaknesses right now I thought was needing help in the middle up front on that defensive line. And I know Demarcus Lawrence is an end, but once he came back, it changed things up. He's been solid since he's been there. And for him to be the one person you go to say that you wanted him to restructure so that you can sign, so that, to keep him there, I think that Dallas is going to, they about to cut their own foot off. I think they're going to hurt themselves if they let Demarcus Lawrence go.
Yeah, for me, same thing with him. He had the injury last year, so I feel there's more to it with what he had. Because what was it, a back? Was it a back, or it was something where all of a sudden he was out? And like how you said, when he's in there, he was a monster, and he's been that for some years. Well, right. I guess he was down the other year, but I think that was more scheme wise. That's one thing I never understood, how they tried to take a 4-3 roster, bring in a 3-4 coach, right, and then tell all these guys to try to play a 3-4.
Yeah, you do this, although you're not made for this,
right? Yeah. And that's why their defense looked like it did versus the players. Then they went back to the 4-3. But I think with Lawrence, it's more of them on the inside knowing about his injury. Okay, and, so it's time to go ahead.
I never even really thought about that part of him being. I knew he was banged up, but you're right. When it goes to that deeper, that's a great point. Hey, also, y'all, if you ever get a chance, check out Adrian's page. I hadn't seen one in a while, but he used to do film breakdown and post it to his Facebook page and his Twitter page. And it was like being in the NFL position room watching film. So if you ever want to get a heed on what's going on and get an idea and a real understanding of what we're looking at from a defensive standpoint, y'all go to his page, scroll down through and find that old that old film video, because he was breaking down tape, and I was like, damn, I feel like I'm in the meeting room with Lovie Smith and Rod Marinelli right now, dog. Like,
I'm gonna send him my tape.
Just straight break. We don't want to see, dude. We don't want to see
Cowboys. And the Cowboys was on there a lot. They was on my Merc session. They was getting murked. They couldn't stop the run for nobody.
No.
And I was like, and it had me hot, because I hate when linebackers get hyped up just off of what they did in college, and they keep this name. And when they moved to the 3-4, they kept hyping up the Wolf Hunter and Jalen Smith. And I was like, they're good. They played good the year before by themselves, but they weren't doing nothing that year. Right. And me knowing from playing in two different schemes, the 3-4 and playing a 4-3, they were two 4-3 middle linebackers trying to play 3-4 middle linebackers.
Right.
But they were still playing it like they were in a 4-3.
Yes.
Everybody's just trying to get to the ball. And I'm like, everybody on every play can't be doing the same thing.
No. And I think that definitely showed through when he went to Green Bay and they said, oh, wait a minute, hold on. We may have gotten a bag bill of goods here, because his movement was my thing for him. And especially how, when it came to the run, he was all in, north, south, here we go. But you start getting him east, west, or trying to get him in angles, it was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he couldn't play on redirect no more, man. I feel bad for him, because it's one of those things where you knew the injury was gruesome in college, and to recover and have the first couple of years like he did in the league, like, okay, cool. This young brother, he made a great recovery. He's playing. He's doing things well. And I don't know where it went wrong again, but something was not there last year, beginning of that season. And like you said, Jay, if he had to fill A gap or B gap coming downhill, bam, blew it up. If he had to scrape over the top to go make a play, it was getting to the next level. It was bad.
Or even cover out of the backfield, like the bubble screen. And I'm gonna tell you what did it for me, man. When I saw Jalen Hurts run, he did an end play, right? He just basically all he did was took the ball, took like 3 steps and said, I'm out. And he came around the end. He just looked at him like, oh, you're here? Okay, nice. And then kept running like he just ran right past him like, bro, take an angle. You take an angle. There was no angle.
No angles,
so that was, I mean, I was done at that point. Like, well, I'm out on this one. So, and Van Der Esch, you know, to me, he's the new generation Sean Lee. You know, he's just good enough to be on the squad. But if it's like, hey, I need an all pro, that's not your guy. And I think he got overhyped. And I think Micah Parsons this year saved him for whatever he's going to have. Yeah. So, you know, hopefully they do sign him, but they understand his role in that defense. Otherwise, you know.
Well, what they do, will they do what the Cowboys always do?
Of course.
Will they find that one position and overpay him and then have to back out the deal 2 years later by cutting him?
Franchise tag Schultz, I mentioned that. Gallup at 10, and we just kind of move from there. So
I don't know how I missed the tag on Schultz. Maybe because I didn't believe it when I saw it and just
no
didn't
one
even
believed
pay
it.
attention.
Because, no one did.
Like Adrian said, tight ends. I'm not trying to take anything away from the position,
right.
But you can go get a tight end. You can go steal one in a draft, a free agency that's going to do what he did, without having to waste that tag.
Where's he from?
Oh,
because I mean that's something else that I've seen. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but they're heavy Boise State. They're real. They love the Boise State. You got Van Der Esch, Demarcus Lawrence, Cedric Wilson, the offensive coordinator. What's the cornerback that they used to have? That's a talk show host now. A lot of guys from Boise State. So I wonder what's going on over there with that.
I don't know. Maybe Will
he played at Stanford.
Okay.
Wait, no. Yeah, Dalton Schultz played at Stanford.
Yeah.
So he's not from Boise State, but you just really made me rethink and realize they did have a lot of Broncos on that team, because I think Tyrone Crawford was from Boise State.
Tyrone Crawford
before he retired. Yeah,
and that safety they had, the other safety was from there. Yeah,
I'm gonna send my son to Boise State so he can go play for the Dallas Cowgirls.
Why would you see? And you know what? And I hope he would just hit you in your knee, not your face, not your face. But
hey, man, you know what's funny to me? Not funny, but it's cool. My youngest, my oldest decided to hang up the cleats. He was like, "Pops, I'm going to school. I'm chilling." He about to play the fraternity soon. I just know it. And he down there at Texas Southern loving it. But my youngest the other day, so I decided to pull him to the side and have a conversation. Hey, man, you say you want to do this football thing. You want to go to college. Where do you think you want to go? And I'm throwing something because kids always say like the most big time universities, right?
Sure.
He goes, "Oh, I'm going to Jackson State, hands down." I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Yeah, I'm going to Jackson State. I'm playing for Deion Sanders." And I was like, "No, Deion really doing his thing, dog, because he made my 13-year-old know who Jackson State is and want to go play for him." Which, I'm cool with the HBCUs, dog, if that's what he really want to do. But
hey, I keep it real, like how my dad told me. Now we're in a different day, but because I walked on to Colorado State,
right.
And I got an academic scholarship there. And so, the coaches was trying to play the walk-on thing, not talking about not giving me the scholarship or we'll see and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm transferring. And I called my dad. I said, I'm about to go to a HBCU. And he was like, well, I'll tell you what. You can go down there, because my dad used to coach in Hampton and Virginia Union. And he met my mom at Prairie View A&M. So he coached. I had all the background of that.
Yeah.
And he said, now you're not going to be in that plush dorm with that AC. and you might not be flying that big plane no more. You're going to be taking some buses. And I said, let me think about that again.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
It's not at all the schools. Is it what people are saying it is? And I just want I want the youngsters to know where they're going and, for what they want, and not just say they're going somewhere just because it sounds cool.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
They might want some of the amenities. Now, I'm not saying that all these schools don't have them now. It's a new day. There's new facilities. Their facilities look nice, but there's some other schools out there.
Yeah, that's behind the times, and they gotta catch up with it. Yeah.
The Bethune-Cookmans of the world.
Dang, why you go to the?
I went to Clark, Atlanta, man. I hate all of that out there. Why you hit
Bethune-Cookman like that, dog?
If you're not a Panther, that's what it is, man.
Man, ain't nobody talking about Clark, Atlanta, but you.
CAU. That's okay. That's all right.
Fort Valley State get more love than y'all, dog.
Hey, that's fine.
I don't even think Fort Valley got a football team no more. Do they?
Well, I don't know. It's Fort Valley State.
Hey, so all right, we took a lot of time on the Dallas Cowboys, but it was necessary because they're doing things going into free agency that's making us all scratch our heads. Now, football is becoming. I call it NFL 365 now. The league is doing their best to try to keep everybody interested year round. Right. So, this year in Indianapolis, they allow about up to 10,000 fans to come in and actually watch the testing going on at the combine.
How much were the tickets?
I don't know, but they charge something to make money.
They charge.
I know because one of my friends that's still up in Indianapolis was telling me about concessions, and because he had a company that got in and was able to work concessions and make some money. So he's like, yo, they let us come in, set up a concession stand, the whole nine. It was like we're getting ready for a game the way people start coming in. Right. But there were some insane 40 times at the combine. Yeah. And they kind of just really surprised me. But one thing I will say, and I think Adrian might agree to this, so many people they fall in love with a 40 time, but it never really dictates what that person can do on the field. It looks good, it sounds good, it makes everybody excited, but it doesn't really translate to what that guy's going to be on the field. And I always think back to Devin Bush back in the day from Florida State. He went out, ran like a 4.3 something, got drafted in the first round, and was just an okay pro. Not bad, but it was never like, it was all 40 time that got him that first round pick, right?
You can look at the Oakland Raiders squad from basically like this, early 80s, mid 80s, all the way to really kind of now. They would take the highest or the fastest guys, and they never translated to anything.
Darius Hayward-Bay, wide receiver from Maryland. Dude, yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody knew who he was and the only reason I knew who he was is that Maryland came out to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl and played against the Nevada Wolfpack. And I was watching my team play, and I was like, dude, they hyping this dude up. He fast. But everything was a go. He wasn't running nothing else.
That's it.
And he got drafted first round by the Raiders, Jay.
I'm telling you, the Raiders draft speed. That was their thing.
That's exactly what they scouted for. Definitely.
They scouted for speed. They drafted.
Y'all remember Calvin Branch?
Yeah.
Nevada, Colorado State.
Yep.
Turner.
Calvin Branch was
played running back, and they said he ran a 40, come play DB to the league.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
It's just, but, we talk about these 40 times. Kalen Barnes running a 4.23. Gosh, I can't even say it right. Out of Baylor. Tariq Woolen coming out of another cornerback 4.26 out of UTSA. And I was talking about how UTSA really is a new program, a newer program. I'll say it like that. Yeah. But to have cats that are running out of Texas like this, but what really caught kind of both of our eyes and the whole nation is Jordan Davis, the D lineman out of Georgia, running a 4.78, and that's a fat boy. That's a fat dude. That's a
he ain't
340.
Yeah, he's
340.
Big boned. He ain't fat. He big boned.
The only thing big boned about him are the chicken bones on his plate. That's the only thing big boned about that gentleman there. Oh, and if I see him, I think I might can outrun him, but I don't know.
No, you're not running a 4.7, Jay. I've seen you.
For 40 yards?
Yeah, you're not running a 4.7. He's catching you.
Man, I got him in the first 15, though. The first 15, I got him.
You got to watch it. It's
15,
his first,
I got him.
His first 10 is impressive.
Right. Yeah, he was moving. And then the other D lineman ran, 4.6?
Yes.
Almost like 4 something. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. So, hey, Adrian, you were an agent for a while. You worked the business. How much value do you put into this 40-yard dash, man?
Not much. I mean, I think the scouts, I did some internships at some of the teams, and that's one of the things. But as soon as you go right back in the camp, nobody's running in the 40s.
Right.
So it's a big value. It depends on who someone is, right? some guys, it gets them to look at you and it gets them to know one thing about you. You know,
Right.
like there's some guys that weren't on TV that are at some of these schools, but it gets them to say, "Hey, like here I am now. Come and look at my tape more in depth." Right. You know, and then guys that have it all, that your Jalen Ramseys, you know, where they're big, they got the tape, and they're fast. That's why they're the number one picks.
Right.
Yeah. So it just matters on who you are.
Gotcha.
You know, so I'm not gonna say it just doesn't matter.
Right.
But you know, guys think that, oh, I am fast, man. I'll get out there and okay, you fast, but you ain't making no tackles.
Man. Hey, look, fleet of feet, hands of stone. That's what I'm looking at. Like, okay, you're a cornerback and you got makeup speed, maybe. I mean, you can at least get around 40, and I'm looking at that, but you know, are you able to cover? Can you run that moving sideways? You know, can you do that again using your angles, you know, in order to, and can you understand schemes? Like that's what's getting me.
And then can you understand schemes, and can you run that fast knowing you're going to get hit? That's always the thing that killed me. Like, it's like my last year at the Bengals. I was laughing Marvin's year. Like, they come in there and they're drafting all these fast linebackers, so called, right? Like, which the league has gone to now. You know, like I was sitting there at 255. Yeah, they started bringing in these 225, 230-pound guys talking about
those safeties that they just moved the linebacker, the hybrids. Yeah,
and so I'm like, hey, that's all good. Y'all bringing in the replacements. That's all good. But right now, when Bettis is lining up in that I formation and coming downhill, and when Eddie George, I'm seeing 5-2 because I'm seeing the plays coming right at them, and they're not moving because they don't want that smoke.
Right.
So there's a big difference in just being fast and guys having a certain size. Right. And then, okay, now when you go put them there, can they play, and are they moving at that speed?
Right.
Hey, let's go ahead and let's get into this third down. We so far behind. But let's go.
Now, Jay, we good. We're gonna keep this thing rolling because if we we'll just click off of ASAP and keep it moving if we have to. So don't rush through. We got to get through the downs. We understand that, but we all good because that's the thing. When you start talking football and you enjoying the conversation, man, you just don't want to rush through it sometimes. So
that's
anyway,
me,
amazing. I know, amazing 40 times. Good to see it because these next two we can't rush through because it's gonna go there. I just know it is.
It will.
So go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Let you introduce it. What you were about to say and get us to the next down to that third down.
Third down. Hey, so we're looking at Aaron Rodgers and the saga that is Green Bay. Was offered a big contract, so now the question is, okay, so you give the guy 4 years, $200 million, $153 guaranteed. You franchise tag Devontae Adams so you can make sure he's still there. What happens to Jordan Love?
Ooh.
What does he do now? Is there anyone crying for him?
I mean, I think he just sits there. I mean, I think he's in a great shape. You know, I'm like guys, I think one thing that I learned is being in the league, you know, and especially with a certain complexion, sometimes it's better to be the backup and play for 10, 12, 13 years than it is to go run to some team and think that you're going to be the man and then you're out of there. Right?
Wow.
So he's in a good situation where you're on a winning team. I say just sit back and and go ahead and let the contracts play out and go ahead and get wins. And he's sitting nice.
But is he really going to get a fair shake later on once Aaron Rodgers does decide to shut it down? Or does he even become trade bait for the Green Bay Packers to shop him somewhere and get some more picks? Because let's be realistic, your man is about to eat up 3/4 of the salary cap. 2 year, $200 million extension with
25%
150 cap. 150 guaranteed.
Yeah, 153 guaranteed.
Where's he going to go? And then who wants to give up something for? Did anyone want him when he was coming out?
Well, the Packers did, or does that speak more about the Packers front office? Because two things to me, the Packers front office got duped. because Aaron Rodgers knew all along he was never going anywhere. He put a plan together to scare them into giving him this beyond big deal. But now you have to cut everybody and bring everybody back in for veteran minimums. Does Aaron Rodgers even really care about another championship? Because this is the whole thing.
No.
The NFL or all these people talk about